The bears make their presence known as the SPY rejects its upper level of this price channel. Tesla falls to its 200 period moving average on the 15-minute, and Coinbase does the same. The bulls finally step up on Microsoft and break this upper ascending trend line for the second time. But does Microsoft now have the momentum it needs to push higher? Welcome back, everybody, to High Quality Trades, the channel where I provide top-notch technical analysis on the stock market, where we go over simple support and resistance levels, trendline breaks, and pattern formations. And I give you the price targets of where price is headed in the coming days. So let's get into it. In today's video, we will be going over the SPY, Tesla, Coinbase, and Microsoft stock. So first up, we have the SPY on the 4-hour time frame. Today is November 13th, and the most recent close of the SPY was 597.19. Today it reached a high of 599.23 and a low of 594.96. It was positive 0.05% on the day. Okay guys, so what is price currently doing? So in Monday's video, I talked about the SPY possibly breaking below the 596 level and heading down towards 594. Looks like with Tuesday's price action, that is what happened, and the bulls were able to push price back up above the 596 level, and we tried to head up towards the next resistance level of 599. But the bulls were unsuccessful, and we headed back down towards support. So come tomorrow, if the bulls are able to hold this level, then it's possible the SPY heads up towards the $600 level. But if the bears succeed in breaking this level, we'll head back down towards 594, and then if this level breaks, there is a gap fill out on the daily time frame that fills around the 592 level. That is where I'd be looking for price to head down to if the bears succeed in pushing price lower. What I found odd is I know that there is a call wall around the $600 level. Come Friday, there will be a ton of contracts that expire around 600. But the odd part is when you look up the put call ratio, it is really heavy to the put side. So that kind of tells me that the SPY is definitely trapped in this area going into the end of this week. And being that it is OpX, we have a ton of contracts expiring on Friday that I would expect the market to try to shake people out of. So one scenario that has popped in my head is, say tomorrow the bears succeed in pushing price lower down towards the 592 level. I would say it's most likely that the bulls step in and then push price higher, and we end up back around the $600 level. I would say that's my perfect scenario in a perfect world. Now we don't always get that, so don't just take my word for it. Let's just trade the price action. But alright, anyways, that's it for the SPY. Let's now go over Tesla. So in Monday's video, I talked about Tesla reaching up towards the 364 level. Surprisingly enough, we got a gap up on Tuesday, and we're about $1.50 away from that level before the bears stepped in and quickly pushed price lower. We headed towards the first price target I was talking about at 336, and then the bulls were able to push price back up for a short-lived bounce. And then by the end of the day, we did end up getting a flush towards the 200 period moving average. So that was a pretty good call on my end. Now it doesn't always happen that way, but you just gotta pat yourself on the back sometimes when moves like that happen. Now with Wednesday's price action, we did get this gap up, and then we basically just hovered around the 200 period moving average. Now it is starting to move sideways. So if we get that flush in the market like I was talking about on SPY, I would say it's most likely that Tesla heads down towards 314, and then if this level breaks, we could head down towards the 299 level. But if the bulls succeed and say breaking above resistance here at 336, the price will attempt to head back up towards the 364 level. So ultimately, we'll just have to wait and see what happens here on Tesla going into the end of this week. Alrighty guys, let's now head on to Coinbase. So it took an extra day for Coinbase here to reach its 200 period moving average, but you see here, just like on Tesla, Tuesday morning's price action, we ended up flushing down towards the 200 period moving average. We almost hit our first price target at 296, but then the bulls stepped in and we pushed price back up and then consolidated around the 322 resistance level. So with today's price action, looks like we've fallen below the 200 period moving average and then headed down towards our first support level here at 285. The bears are attempting to fill a gap on the daily time frame that fills right here at 273.68. So if Coinbase continues to move lower come tomorrow or into the end of this week, it will most likely try to fill this gap on the daily time frame. And then that might be where the bulls step in and try to push price back up. Alrighty, now on to Microsoft. So Microsoft has had some interesting price action over the past few weeks. We did get a false breakout to the upside back on October 29th, October 30th. But then with earnings, we flushed all the way down outside of this pennant pattern. It looked like we were then breaking to the downside, but that was also a fake out. So now price has attempted to push back up above this trend line, and it does look like the bulls have succeeded with today's price action in closing above this trend line for the second time. So I'm now looking to trade this one to the upside, but what I'd first like to see is that Microsoft break above this 426.85 level, and then I'd go down into the 15-minute time frame here, and I'd watch our 200 period moving average. If this starts to slope up and Microsoft manages to get back above the 426 level, that would be a valid calls entry for me to then trade Microsoft up to 432. That would be my first price target. And then if Microsoft was able to get above the 432 level, it would go try to attack the 441.80 resistance level next. So I'm leaning more bullish here on Microsoft based on this break of the trend line. But it wouldn't be the first time that we've gotten a fake out on this trend line break. So if Microsoft isn't able to get above the 426 level going into the end of this week, then I would scrap this one as a possible calls trade and then wait for a better entry. But alrighty guys, now I'm going to leave you with that. Thank you guys for watching high quality trades. I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.